We sent messengers as bringers of good tidings and warners, so that mankind will have no argument against Allah after the messengers. And ever is Allah exalted in might and wise.
Alhamdulillah. Now, after Ismail became older and some things started happening, one of the things, big thing that happened, was some of the Arabs had come and seen that there was something going on there, and they wanted to know, is there water? And they said, there's water there, and we need water. So as they approached, Hajar let them know they could get water, but they couldn't take over the place. And they agreed. They said, okay, that's cool. So they came, and they started watering their animals there and doing business there, trading there, and so on. Do you know who these people are? These are the people we talked about earlier. Remember the descendants from Shem or Sam. Remember that they had come to Hadramaut and Oman and to these areas down in there, Yemen and so on. And now these are the same people, and they're speaking this dialect called Arabiya. And so it was that Ismail grew up with these people, and he learned to speak Arabic better than they did. He was perfect in his Arabiya. Can you say Arabiya?
Arabiya.
Arabiya. It has in the beginning of it. Can you say Arabiya?
Arabiya.
What's that letter?
Ain.
Ain. Ain. But I'm from Texas, and I had to modify this a little bit. You know how? Because I have to learn how to say these letters. And I said, I can't do it. They said, say, it's in the back of the throat, behind the neck, and the tongue. And then one day, one of my friends was in Texas with me. He said, oh my God, I discovered here in Texas you have this letter, Ain. I said, we do? He said, I heard you say it. I said, when? You said, I ain't gonna do it. I said, oh, you're right, we do have Ain. He said, you also have the other letter we have, Ghain. I said, we do? He said, yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, Ismail was very good with the language of the Arabiya. He was excellent at it. And you know, he got married and he had children, and those children had children, and there were more children and more children. Many people came. And then one day, Ismail's father, who's his father? Ibrahim alayhi salam, peace be upon him, came to visit. But when he got there, well, it wasn't home, was he? It was gone. So he knocked at the door. And when the wife came to the door, what do you want? Said, is Ismail is here? No. Oh, well, how are things? Terrible. We're having a hard time. Oh, okay. Well, tell him he needs to fix his doorstep. What? And he left. Now, when Ismail came back from his journey, his trip, hunting, whatever, he asked his wife, anybody come while I was away? She said, yeah, some old man came. I see. And did he say anything? Yeah, he said, you need to fix your doorstep. He said, that was my father, and he's telling me to get rid of you, so I divorce you. Now, why did he do that? You know why? Because she was very bad, and she dishonored his father very bad. And he understood the signal that his father gave him, because he too was a prophet. Well, then later, Ibrahim alayhi salam came back again, and this time again, he's not there. And he knocked at the door. You like what, didn't it? He knocked at the door, and the woman came, and she said, hello, salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam. He said, is Ismail is here? She said, no, I'm sorry, he's not here. He said, well, how are things? She said, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Even though they were poor, even though they didn't have very much, even though there were difficulties, she said, alhamdulillah, praise to Allah. We have as Allah wills. He said, tell him to keep his doorstep. Huh? Keep his doorstep. Okay. So when he came back, did anybody come while I was gone? Yeah, this very nice old man, he came, and he asked about you, and then he told me to tell you to keep the doorstep. He said, that was my father. And he told me to keep you as my wife. And why? Why? because she had really good way about her, a good attitude, and she respected his father. And she was also thankful to Allah. And this is the best kind of wife to have, to be obedient and to be good and to be thankful to Allah. So we get a very good lesson from this one. There are a lot of prophets that came after Abraham, and one of them was Ishaq, and then he, of course, had his son, which was Jacob, and Jacob had... There's so many stories of so many different prophets.
Please tell us the story of Yusuf. Please tell us about Prophet Yusuf.
Okay. I agree. Let's skip right to it. It's my favorite story. When I came into Islam, they told me, you can choose a new name. You don't have to stay with the old name you have. You can choose one. I said, any name I like. I like Joseph. They said, well, you'd like to know how to say Joseph in Arabic? I said, sure, Yusuf. And so that's how I got the name Yusuf. My father's name Joseph, and I love my father, and I always liked his name. And they said, well, this is fine. And I took the name Yusuf. You want to hear something funny? I didn't know my father was going to become a Muslim later. So when he became a Muslim, he was Yusuf. So it was Yusuf and Yusuf. And they said, no. So he's Abu Yusuf. Yusuf Abu Yusuf, and you're Yusuf ibn Yusuf. It got confusing. Anyway, let's talk about the Prophet Yusuf.
Alayhi salam.
Peace be upon him. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. Yes, what happened, you see, his father was Jacob. Jacob was also a prophet. And he had sons, many sons. Two of his sons are very, very famous. And that's Benjamin, or Benjamin, and Yusuf. And that's the one we're going to talk about today. He also had Levi, he had Dan, he had Judah, some others. But the one that we want to really feature is this story, the story which is mentioned in Quran in detail, and also in previous scriptures also in detail. And it starts out something like this. It starts with a dream. You see, Yusuf was very young, and he had a dream. Allah gave him this dream. And when he woke up, it was like the sun everywhere, and he was all excited. And he went to his father, and he said, Father, I've had a dream. So what was your dream? He said, I saw 11 stars, and the sun and the moon all bowing down to me. And by the way, he had 11 brothers. And he said, I saw 11 stars, and the sun and the moon all bowing down to me. Right away, his father, Jacob, or Yaqub in Arabic, realized this is a prophet. Because one prophet knows another prophet. He said, my son, Yusuf, is a prophet. And he was very happy. Then he realized, by the way, don't tell your brothers. Do not talk about this to your brothers because they will be jealous, and we don't need that. So you just be cool about this, okay? So he was. And everything rocked on pretty good. And then when he got to be about 18 years old, at that time his dad was making sure that he and his brother Benjamin both were working around the house doing garden things, not going out with the animals, not getting too far away, because he really worried what those older brothers might do to his two younger brothers, which was Benjamin, which was a big favorite of Jacob, and Yusuf, another favorite. So one day, the older brothers, who were very jealous anyway, and they didn't even know about the story, they didn't know the dream, but they were still jealous, and they said, we got to figure some way to get Yusuf out of the house. Let's get him out with us somehow. They said, how? He's never going to let him go. I said, just tell him to come on, let him go with us, and, we'll take care of him. And then when we get him out, we'll kill him. And another one said, no, don't kill him, but let's just leave him somewhere in the wilderness. And one said, okay, I got an idea. We'll put him in a well. Just leave him in a well. So that's the plan they had. And then they went to the father. Father, let Yusuf go with us. We need him to help us out there, and he will get some benefit from this. He never had a chance to go be with the animals, enjoy the day, the fresh air, so and so. And the father said, no, I fear that something could happen. Oh, we guarantee, wallah, they swearing, we'll never let anything happen to Yusuf. Oh, no way, this is our brother. Well, and no, come on. And they just talked their father into it, and they took Yusuf out. And they were ready. And when they got him out, they didn't just take him out there to work. They took him out for what they said they were going to do. No, they didn't kill him. But sure enough, they found a deep well. And it was on a caravan route. They knew some people would pass by, so they put him down in the well. Down, 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 and left him there with no rope, no way to get out. And they left him. But they took his shirt. And when they took the shirt, they put some blood on the shirt from a sheep or something, you know. Put the blood on it. And when they went back to the father, oh, Father, you can't believe what happened. Father already knew something's wrong. Where's Yusuf? Oh, you don't believe, and it's the wolf, and it came, and it... Where's Yusuf? And even when we tell you, you're not going to believe us. Where's Yusuf? The wolf, and the shirt, and the blood, and the... Where's Yusuf? The wolf ate him. Did you see it? No, we didn't see it, but, look, we're so sorry. They weren't sorry. Jacob, Jacob, peace be upon him, started crying. And he was crying and weeping. And they were saying, oh, Father, we are so sorry, but, and nothing. No, stay away from me. Just leave me. And he cried. And he cried so much. And he didn't stop crying for years. In the meantime, what happened to Yusuf? Well, sure enough, just like they said, a caravan passed by. And guess what? More than likely, these were relatives, ancient relatives, because they were coming up from the very area we talked about before, down in Hadramaut, Yemen, down that way, from Arabia. Anyway, they came across this area, which was around Jerusalem, Palestine, somewhere in there. And the people went to the well. They looked down. Oh, maybe some water down there. So they said, throw a bucket down and see if we get some water. Tied a rope on the bucket, and they threw it down. Yusuf was startled because he said, what's this coming down at me? And he caught it. He caught the bucket. People were listening. Where's the water? Did you hear a splash? No. They pull it. Somebody pulled back. Hey, what's going on? So they started going down there. We found the treasure. We have a treasure. They said, what's the treasure? Gold? No, better. We found a boy. We got a boy. You know what it means? We can sell him as a slave. So they made him a slave. They took him out of the well and took him on into Egypt with them. Oh, yeah, what a good deal this is. And when they got into Egypt, they took him to the slave market. Now, the slave market is where they used to bring people up on the stage, and they'd say, who will give so much for this one? And who will give so much for this one? And here's a boy over here, a young boy. Only got one leg, but hey, maybe he can jump around and do stuff. We'll make it half price. We're making deals. And they bring one after the other, and then they brought Yusuf up. By the way, Yusuf was very good looking, very handsome, And they brought him up there, chains and irons on him. And they had these chains on him ever since he left the well. And his legs are swelling, and it's, a lot of, pain from all this iron and stuff on him. And he got up on this day, and they said, who'll give 10 dinars, 10 dinars, 5 dinars, some dinars? Get this guy out of here. And Aziz said, I will. And somebody bid, I will. Cheap price. Cheap price, he bought him. And he took him home. He said, he's young, he's strong, he might do some work. But I got to be careful of these guys. You never know. Slaves are, dangerous. But right away, Yusuf told him, I'm very thankful that you bought me, and I will do my best to serve you. So, Aziz took off the leg irons. The chains, everything. And he said, thank you so much. And he promised to be loyal to him and do anything he asked. Well, that's good. I need a houseboy around here. Take care of my house, do stuff around here. So that was the job for Yusuf. The wife of Aziz, anybody know her name?
Zuleika.
Zuleika. Yeah, very good. You guys are too smart. The wife of Aziz, Zuleika, she saw him and she said, whoa, look at this guy. He's cute. Whoa. And he was very handsome. And he started working around the house, and she was like, And every day he's working, doing this, doing that. And she'd be like, Probably Aziz, maybe he was like old and she was young, but she was like, check out this guy. So guess what happened? One day she couldn't take it anymore. She wanted to hold him, hug him, So she went for him, and he was a very good boy. He's a prophet, and they don't do stuff like that. So he started running around the house, and she was chasing after him, and he was running, and she was going, I got to get out of here. And just as they got to the door, she grabbed his shirt, ripped his shirt just like that, and the door opened. Guess who was standing there? Gulp. Yep. The boss. And right then she changed her voice to, she was going, come here. And she went, hey, this man, he tried to do something to me. Oh, he's trying to, look, see, I had to rip his shirt to keep him away. Oh, Aziz said, what is going on here? Take this man. Of course, they took him right away. And he was upset. Why? How dare this man? And I'm away, and he's trying to do something with my wife? Whoo! But then his cousin, Aziz had a cousin. His cousin is a fair man, a just man. He said, hold on a second. Come here, Aziz. Check this out. Look. You want to know the truth? Think about this. Let us look at the shirt. Because if the shirt is ripped from the front, she's telling the truth because she was defending herself and she ripped the shirt. But if the shirt is ripped from the back, Aziz said, then what? He said, she's telling a lie. And he was running away. And she grabbed his shirt. And that's what happened. So they passed the shirt around, and everybody was looking at it right in front of her. She was going, and they said, it's the back. It's the back of the shirt. It's not the front. Aziz was really upset. What is going on? He got Yusuf and he said, listen, we got a problem here. What's up with this? He said, what's the truth? But that night, Zuleika told Aziz, look, this boy is too much for me. I'm sorry, but he's like putting a spell in my brain or something. I don't know what happened, but you know what? We got to save our honor and dignity. And really, you know what? You need to lock him up in prison. Because this story is going to get out all over the place. And people are going to be saying something, And if you don't lock him up, then they're going to say something about me, something about our family. How's it going to look? Yeah, that's a point, he said. I had to make a decision about this. In the meantime, the women of the town heard the story, and they were going, oh, Zuleika is a bad girl. She is chasing the boy around the house that works there. And they were making fun and ha, ha, ha. Zuleika didn't like that. She thought about it. She's pretty sneaky, by the way. I got an idea. So she invited all the ladies to come over for like a tea, Come over, have a spot of tea. Yeah? And everybody came over. And she's going to serve things for them to eat and so. And she served fruit and gave each one a very sharp knife to cut the fruit. And she said, now cut the fruit. And just as they're going to cut the fruit, she called Yusuf. Yusuf, come in, please. And when he came in the room, they saw him and they went, oh, and cut their hands. All of them cut their hands because they were not paying attention to the fruit. They went, whoa, ah! And she said, see, I told you this guy is like, I don't know, a charm man. He's like, whoa. Very handsome. In fact, people said he had the most beautiful face of any man that ever lived. So Aziz said, much as I hate to do it, in the interest of the preservation of my good name and my stature in the community, it's necessary for me to make the decision to do what? I'm putting Yusuf in prison. Do you know how to say prison in Arabic? Sijin. Sijin. Can you say Sijin?
Sijin.
Sijin. Yep. They put him in the Sijin. And when he got in the Sijin. But Yusuf believed in Allah. And he was always thankful to Allah. You'll notice how patient he was. When he was thrown into the well, he didn't give up on Allah. When they sold him into slavery and put the chains on him, he didn't give up on Allah. Even when the man bought him, he still was patient. He was being nice, pleasant, and trusting Allah. The lady did this thing, and he still trusts Allah. Even at one point, by the way, whenever she was trying to chase him, you know what he told her? He said, what you're calling me to, what you're calling me to is worse than prison for me. I'd rather go to prison than do what you want to do. And he didn't mind to go to prison because he knows that Allah will be happy with him if he stays away from bad things. And he stayed away from a very bad thing. In the prison, though, and it was a long time, he used to tell people about Allah. He used to tell people there's only one God to worship, and that's it. Well, it's a prison. A couple of guys came to him one day and said, I had a dream last night. The other one said, yeah, me too. He said, oh, really? He said, tell me your dream. He said, well, I had a dream, that some birds made a nest on my head, and they were eating out of my head. What is that? And the other one said, I also had a dream. He said, what was your dream? He said, I saw myself serving a cup or something like this for the king. He said, the first dream, this is, by the way, he was a robber, a thief. He said, they're going to execute you. You're going to die, and the birds are going to eat your brains out of your head after you're dead. Ugh. The other one, he said, you're going to be excused, taken out of prison. You're going to be serving the king. He said, really? He said, but now when you go to the king, be sure and tell him about me. Remind him of me, and I'm sitting here. Sure, yeah, right, whatever. Sure enough, they came and they took the one guy, killed him, and the birds ate his brains. The other one, they turned him loose, and sure enough, he was taking care of the king, serving him, doing stuff like this. But he forgot. Some say Shaitan made him forget. But anyway, he forgot all about Yusuf. Until one day, the king himself, he started talking about a dream he had, a dream that kept him awake. And he was frustrated, and he was distraught. He was like, oh, I have this dream. Call my magicians, call my advisors, get people in there. I want to tell you about my dream. He said, okay. They came to the king. What's your dream? He said, I don't understand. In my dream, there were 7 cows. There were 2 kinds of cows. 7 were very fat. 7 were very skinny. But the 7 skinny ones ate the 7 fat ones. And there were 7 grains, or, like corn or something like this. And there were 7 bad, that 7 ate that. And he said, it's confusing to me. I don't understand it. I need somebody to tell me, and I can't sleep. I keep thinking of the same thing. Well, the magician said, well, I don't know. And he said, well, you're the soothsayer. You're the dream teller. Tell me. He said, well, it's these dreams, maybe you should take an aspirin and go to bed. I don't know. They were all trying to excuse themselves because they didn't really know. They're not prophets. And then the cupbearer, the guy who takes care of the king, said, oh, yeah, when I was in prison, I met this guy who was a prophet or something. Maybe he can tell you. He told me about my dream. He said, who is he? He said, his name is Yusuf. Go get him. Tell him to come here and interpret my dream. But when they went to Yusuf, he said, I'm not going to go. Until they prove that I'm innocent, I didn't do anything. Then I'll go. So they went back. When they heard this story, they went to Aziz and they said, Aziz, what's up with this story? And he brought his wife, Zulaykha. And she had to testify, yes, he's innocent, it was me. And when that happened, Yusuf came out. They let him out and said, excuse us, you're free. So, till next time, I give you guys the greeting. You give it back to me. Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Allah, ya Allah.
Who was the first prophet? Was a prophet the first one to read and write? Did God speak to a prophet? A prophet in a prison. A prophet who commanded the birds, insects, and animals? Want to know more? Join us for Stories of the Prophets.
In the name of Allah, love.